What's going on, faithfuls? The Nothing But Niners crew is here to bring you guys some breaking news. Unfortunately, it's not the most positive of news, but before we get to that, we want to let you guys know, find us. You guys can check us out at www.nothingbutniners.com. If this is your first time watching us on YouTube, please make sure you hit that subscribe button below. We have a Twitter page, and we have a Snapchat that is Nothing But Nine ERS. We are on all media platforms, social media platforms. Check out the Facebook page. Go over there, hit the like button, tell someone else to join us also. We have a lot of good news and everything like that for you guys. Normally it's good news, and that brings us to what's going on today. So I got my man Nick. What's going on, Nick? How you doing over there?
What's going on, Mikey? Man, this is good news is I get to see you and we're talking some Niners football, but bad news is, man, this is horrible news coming out of the DA's office in California. So, I don't know if you want me to start off with this news release, this statement, man. I'm just gonna read for.
So for the people who may not know already, Reuben Foster has officially been charged. Nick has the official release. He's going to read that, and then we're going to reflect and give our thoughts on it. But if you don't know, the case stemming back from February has now, everyone thought that there was some kind of deadline that the DA's office had to officially charge Reuben Foster, and that was clearly not the case. Charges have officially been filed against him, and Nick is going to read through what the official charges are and the allegations against Reuben Foster.
All right, guys. So Reuben Foster charged with felony domestic violence. Reuben Foster, a professional football player, was charged today with felony domestic violence against his live-in girlfriend. Foster, who's 24, physically attacked the 24-year-old woman during a February argument at their Los Gatos home, leaving her bruised with a ruptured eardrum. Foster is scheduled to be arraigned today at 1:30 p.m., Thursday, April 12th, in Department 44 of the Hall of Justice in San Jose. The defendant faces charges of domestic violence with an allegation that he inflicted great bodily injury, forcefully attempting to prevent a victim from reporting a crime, and possession of an assault weapon, all felonies. He is also charged with misdemeanor possession of large-capacity weapon magazine, and if convicted, he faces more than 11 years in prison. Prosecutor Kevin Smith said, "Our focus is on holding accountability those who hurt their intimate partners. Our office handles between 4,000 and 5,000 domestic violence cases each year, and we only hope that this case illuminates the tragic regularity of the rest." On February 11th, the victim flagged down a stranger's car driving on Shannon Road to call 911. She called police. The victim told responding sheriff's deputies and Los Gatos police that Foster dragged her by her hair, physically threw her out of the house, and punched her in the head 8 to 10 times. The victim went to a local hospital where she was treated for her injuries and released. During their search of Foster's home, officers found the weapon, a Sig Sauer 5.16, along with a large-capacity magazine, both of which are illegal to possess in California. And this is from Kevin Smith, Deputy District Attorney of the Domestic Violence Unit.
All right. So there's a couple of things to this. It's all horrible. If it's true, it's all horrible. And I think, without a doubt, Reuben Foster will be cut. I don't see how the 49ers can keep someone on the roster like that. And I'm saying that if it's true. If it's true, also means that there's a conviction. So I think it really comes down to what you believe. Do you believe in due process or not? Right? I think that's what we're looking at here. We've seen people get accused and charged with murder who ended up having long Hall of Fame NFL careers at the same position. So it's going to come down to what you truly believe. Are you about the due process, or are you just going to jump the gun? And are you going to convict this guy right now and say, I want nothing to do with Reuben Foster? And I'm not talking to you, Nick. I'm just talking to the people who are watching right now, our supporters. It depends on what side of the spectrum you fall on. The thing is, I think right now, if you look at Twitter, a lot of people are expecting and projecting the 49ers to cut Reuben Foster immediately. Like, they're looking for him to be cut today. Well, here's the thing. The 49ers have been step in step involved with this. I'm pretty sure that this report doesn't say anything that they didn't already know. It looks worse and it looks bad to us because we're seeing the charges officially for the first time. The 49ers, I think, have been made aware of what's going on. They said they have talked to Reuben Foster a number of times. I'm sure that he said what his side of the story is. And I think the 49ers may be siding on the due process side instead of just, we're going to convict him and he's got to go right now. Nick, what are your thoughts on all of that?
Yeah, Mike, I completely agree with you. I think, with the Jed York statement saying that they want Reuben Foster to play a long tenured career here in San Francisco, with the charges that are brought up on him, but they are going to do their due diligence to investigate as well as cooperate with the DA's office. And as for the charges that are for him, if any of this is true, any of it, if he's charged with one single one of those charges with the domestic violence side, he's got to go. One way or another, he's got to go. I'm not against. I'm totally against hitting women. If she really had a ruptured eardrum, that's crazy, man. 24 years old and you pretty much just threw your life down the drain for being stupid. But on the other hand, charges are brought up all the time. There's a lot of investigation into those. Today, we're probably not going to hear much today because it's the arraignment, so it's probably just going to be here and there. I would say probably in the next few months we would hear something. I do like the fact that these charges came out, and I do agree with you that the 49ers know pretty much. How much did they know? I think they knew a lot of these charges that were going to be brought up to him. And I believe that if they really believed that he did these things, that he would have already been cut. But if he's charged with one of them, not charged, if he's found guilty of one of them, I think the Niners have to cut him. But right now, I would do due diligence.
I think what the team is going to try to do is get him on the commissioner's exempt list, where his money isn't tied up. He's going to need lawyers. He's a first-round pick, so he's got money coming in. He will still get paid for it, but he can't do anything with the team. It's off the top of my head, I think Adrian Peterson was the last time I saw the commissioner's exempt list used. And that's likely to be what the 49ers are going to try to do with Reuben Foster. He's going to need his lawyers to go through this. I was talking to my coworker about this, and if you guys don't know, my mother is a victim of domestic violence, and I literally had to fight my stepfather off of my mother before. So, and by no means am I making excuses for men who hit women when I say the following, but I feel like there needs to be some kind of precedent set where what if Reuben Foster, she found out he was having an affair or he was texting someone that she didn't like, right? And the woman starts flipping out on him. And in order to not beat her, he grabs her and throws her out the house, like what the original allegations were or the original rumors were, right? What's a guy to do if a woman is attacking him to not come up on these charges? You get what I'm saying? Like, I'm not making excuses for him, but I'm sincerely curious as to how a football player, an athlete, someone significantly bigger than the other person is supposed to defend themselves the right way without being looked at as a bully or a domestic violence type of person. You get what I'm saying? Someone who's out there beating on women. If a woman is in your face and she's smacking you and hitting you over and over and over, do you just have to stand there and take it? Like what is a guy supposed to do? I'm sincerely like Nick. Like what is an NFL player supposed to do in that situation?
Well, it doesn't even have to be an NFL player. I mean, any guy in that situation. I mean, I personally wouldn't hit the female back. I would just try to leave the situation, and that's what I would do. If the reports are that, and this is all still allegations. It still all has to be proven. But if she had the bodily injury from the hospital report and stuff like that, but I see what you're trying to say. It can be hard for a male who's getting beat on to not retaliate to the person who is beating on him just because of race, or not race, but gender. So male and female. I'm telling you, if a female is punching me in the face, I'm not going to hit her back. I'm probably going to try to get away from the situation, but there are times where you can't get away from the situation. You may push or shove or throw or do things to get that person off of you. By no means am I a big supporter of any type of domestic violence between male, female, female, whatever it may be. So it's definitely hard. But in my situation, for personally me, I couldn't do it, but I can't say that it wouldn't be hard for any person to not defend off of another person hitting you. And we don't really know the full stories as well. So it's really hard to tell right now. I mean, yes, he's been charged. Are they still allegations? Yes. Has he been completely convicted of it yet? No. So we have to keep our eyes and our ears peeled and listen to what's going on.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have much else to say. These are all horrible allegations. And like I said from the beginning of this, if Reuben Foster is guilty, there's no doubt in my mind that 49ers are going to cut him. This is not something that you just turn the other cheek or turn a blind eye to and say this is strike 2 or strike 3 or 4 or whatever the case is. If he's convicted of these things, then that's it. If I had to predict, though, I think the 49ers were aware of what the potential charges were, like you said. And I think that they may be willing to let this ride out as long as there is nothing else that pops up in Reuben Foster's history or in his future either. The charges are obviously very serious. Rarely do you see anyone get convicted and they get the maximum amount. So I know Nick was reading off the charges and he's facing up to 11 years. Rarely do you see that kind of thing happen. Once in a while, in the case of a judge trying to, set a tone or, like we said earlier, set a precedent for certain things, they might throw the max at someone, but it's not likely to happen. But if he's convicted at all, if there's any kind of guilty, you know what I mean? I don't care if he's put on probation for it. If they say that he actually put his hands on someone, on this woman, he's going to end up having to go. That's what I think that it's going to be.
Yeah, and either way, man, this is all bad. I mean, it's all bad news right now. We're back to the Bruce Millers. We're back to the Alden Smith type talk. We're on an upwind right here, and we're trying to. We're 14 days away from the draft. Everybody's getting excited. We got everything looking up, and then we're always constantly in the last 3 years getting hit with one big piece of news. My opinion on it is if he literally put his hands on this girl or ruptured her eardrum or really punched her 8 to 10 times, he's got to go. Right now, I can't make that decision because there's still allegations. So we have to hear how things pan out. But one way or another, he needs to be disciplined and he needs to learn whether you're in the NFL or not, you don't put your hand on women. So that's where I sit with this. But Mike, let me just ask you one question before we sign off. Does this make Roquan Smith or a Tremaine Edmonds type player more valuable to us at the number 9 pick overall, or would you still stick with the game plan of if you're going pass rush or stuff like that, or does this boost up? I hear a lot of people talking about we can re-sign Navarro Bowman. I don't think that we should re-sign Navarro Bowman. I don't think that's sending the right message to this team. I think we bring in some new fresh blood. We grow together and stuff like that. But what is your opinion on that?
I mean, if you're looking at specifically what these allegations do for your draft implications, if it's me, I'm going to trade back to acquire more picks and try to get 2 first-round guys, much like what we did last year. Roquan Smith or Tremaine Edmonds, whoever they think is worthy of a pick in the top 15, top 20 at the linebacker position, absolutely. The reason why I'm trying to decide like on the spot because I didn't know. You look at the 49ers roster and you're getting Smith back, but you don't know how he's going to play. We saw what Brock did. It was okay. It was serviceable. Wasn't great, but it was serviceable. And you figure that if Brock can take the place of Reuben and you get Smith back, and if Smith is who they paid him to be, then maybe you don't need to panic and go after a Roquan. However, we also know that Brock wasn't meant to be in there as a starter the entire time. So maybe Roquan was on their targets all along. The question I guess you're asking me is, am I letting this affect my draft strategy? And for the 49ers to have been prepared for this, then my answer is going to be no. If they do let this affect their draft strategy, then I would trade back to acquire more picks in hopes that they make 2 first-round picks so they can go after what they were originally going to do instead of countering what's happening right now.
Okay, yeah, that was basically the synopsis of my question was, does this move linebacker up to a more valuable pick for us, whether it be 9 or let's just say 1st or 2nd round where we could have taken one in the 3rd? I think personally, it does move that linebacker need up more. Even if he's not charged, it still is something that I think moves up the draft board in position-wise. So that's kind of what my synopsis of the question was. So, all right, guys. Well, there you have it, man. It's a sad day. Some bad news coming out of the DA's office in San Jose, Los Gatos area. Guys, let's just hope that whether Reuben Foster's still on this team or he gets cut or not, he gets his head straight, gets things fixed. Incredible talent, even better of a person with personality. And let's just hope he doesn't go down the same trail as Alden Smith does. But guys, make sure you check us out at nothingbutniners.com. The new article is up with all the statements in there, as well as the tweets from Cam Inman and stuff like that from Scott Gielan. Go ahead and put that over there. But check us out on nothingbutniners.com. If you have any events coming up or anything like that you want us to share, give you a shout out, anything like that, check it out. Send it over to me. I'll put it up on that website as well for all you chapters out there. But you can find all of our social media avenues over there at nothingbutniners.com. Our SoundCloud, iTunes, TuneIn, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, Google Play, our Snapchat, our Instagram, our Facebook. Come on over, join us in, and above all else, stay faithful. We out.